Hi, I'm Jessica. Thank you for checking out my post for this week's discussion board. In this video, I'm going to be talking about classroom tips to help our students overcome test anxiety. Intervention Central has created a website that talks about different steps we can take to help our students become better test takers. I know I work in New York State and we're under a lot of pressure to have our students perform well on the state exams. Um, the kids feel pressure from not only their teachers, but parents, maybe from their friends. And if they don't do well, they have to go to summer school or they could even be held back. And no one wants that to happen. Sometimes even our top students don't do well on the test simply because they have anxiety or they're just nervous. So Intervention Central suggests 4 steps. The first step includes introducing testing goals. And they provide us with 4 goals, which include teaching them and having them talk about effective study habits. Second goal is memorizing the content, which I know as teachers, sometimes memorizing gets a bad rap, but sometimes, and especially in math, and science and social studies, there are times where students just need to memorize information. I mean, we're testing them on what they recall about what we have taught them. Goal 3, and probably the most important goal that we want to instill in our students, is staying calm during tests. We want them to remember, especially the younger kids. I know in New York, 3rd graders have to take the state test, and it's really important to stay calm. It's just a test, and maybe we wouldn't say it to our students like that, but there's always a chance to boost your grade. There's always a chance to retake the test, and reminding them that your parents are still going to love you whether you do well or not. Your scores are private, your friends aren't going to see them, and your teachers are there to help you. So we really want them to remember to stay calm. And we'll have to teach them ways to stay calm during the test, and that's why this intervention, I believe, is so important. The 4th goal that the article discusses is using effective strategies when taking the test. So this will obviously depend on the type of test you're taking. I know when I take our New York State license exams, to become a teacher, I like to go straight to the essay portion so my mind is still fresh. I know I've learned a lot of great tips for answering multiple choice questions, seeing which ones are similar, and sometimes those you can knock out right away because usually a multiple choice answer, the answer is a little different than the other 3 options. Circling ones we're not sure of and coming back to them, trying to figure out which ones we want to work on first, and then ones maybe we can skip until the end when we can think a little clearer. And those are just the important goals we want to teach them. Once we've taught them the goals, we can mention different ways that the students prepare for a test. So I think it would be great to have each student share a few different ways that they prepare. You could also write the 4 goals that we mentioned before on the board and have students, call out a few different ways that the ways they study, ways they memorize information, things they like to think about to stay calm during a test, and strategies that they use. Step 3 would be having students create their own test readiness plan. So you might have them go home that night, maybe talk with a parent or a sibling or a peer even, and discuss what they're going to do to get ready for an exam. And a nice idea might be to allow the students to write this down or type it on a small piece of paper and maybe tape it to their desk so they can just glance at it while they're taking the exam to help them remember these important things that we spoke about. I would also probably in my own classroom have a poster in the front of the room somewhere big that they can see that includes different test readiness tips. And I've included a picture of that here. And the last step is to encourage the students to try out these skills. It's really great if we take the time to teach them to the kids, but if we don't keep these tips fresh in their minds and reminding them and encouraging them to do well and to stay calm, then it's not going to do anyone any good. So again, that goes back to the point to maybe having a poster in the room that students can, continuously look at and glance at to help them. The article that I read on Intervention Central also includes a long list of tips for students to manage test anxiety. It's just a great list of study habits, and I'll include the link on this discussion board post so you guys can check it out. This is going to be great to help our students with, but also as teachers, I know I'm a new teacher, so I'm taking all the new tests and exams, and it's just something that helps us as adults out as well. So I hope you enjoyed my post, and I'm looking forward to your feedback. Thanks.